At the beginning of the film, parasites, an enigmatic alien species, emerges from the sea and begins infiltrating the city. We shift our focus to a man asleep in his room, completely unaware of the impending threat. In a spine-chilling moment, one of these parasites crawls into his ear, a scene filled with tension. Despite feeling increasingly uncomfortable and irritated, the man manages to calm himself and drift back to sleep. Enter Shinichi, a young boy who appears on the scene, enveloped in the ambience of the night, immersed in his music through a pair of headphones. The parasite attempts to enter Shinichi's ear but fails, leaving him with a disconcerting itching sensation. Believing it's merely an insect, he attempts to flick it away, inadvertently crushing it in the process. However, the parasite's tenacity is apparent as it relocates to his hand, causing further unease. At the same moment, Shinichi's mother arrives, and he exclaims, "Look, my hand's been infected." Though he's disturbed, his hand appears fine when his mother inspects it. If you are liking this story, then please subscribe to our channel. This is a new channel, so we want your full support. The next morning, as Shinichi sits at the dining table, he feels an unsettling irritation in his hand, a subtle hint of the impending changes. Cut to a man whose ear has also fallen victim to a parasite infestation. He stands before his horrified wife, revealing a grotesque, monstrous mouth. In a shocking and horrifying moment, he engulfs his wife's face through this monstrous mouth, a terrifying outcome of the parasite's influence. Returning to Shinichi, he encounters his friend on the way to school, who observes his increasingly bizarre actions. As he arrives at school, it becomes evident that something unusual is happening to him, particularly in his right hand, which has gained incredible strength. Upon returning home, he tries to harm his own hand, but it mysteriously defends itself, thwarting his attempts. The shocking transformation becomes apparent. His hand has turned into a parasite, and it begins to communicate with the Shinichi. This sentient parasite, now named Migi, not only reads Shinichi's books but also uses his laptop. It exhibits a curious interest in human behavior, explaining its actions to Shinichi. Migi assures Shinichi that it won't harm him because he serves as its source of entertainment. As the story progresses, it becomes clear that Shinichi and Migi are forming an unlikely bond, while the rest of the city grapples with the havoc wreaked by infected individuals who relentlessly kill humans to satisfy their insatiable appetites. Contrarily, Migi takes Shinichi to a hotel where other parasites feast on human flesh, mistakenly assuming Shinichi to be one of them. Despite the misunderstanding, they attempt to decapitate him. However, Migi steps in to protect Shinichi, as its own survival is tied to his. The news reports a wave of mysterious killings, with the killers remaining elusive. The parasites continue their covert and cunning actions, evading detection. Shinichi confronts Migi, questioning why it doesn't restrain its fellow parasites from harming humans. In response, Migi draws a parallel, stating that humans also consume vegetables and animals. From the parasite's perspective, humans are their source of sustenance. Migi's ability to sense other parasites in its vicinity adds a layer of complexity to their partnership and the unfolding events. Heading to school, Migi, Shinichi's parasitic companion, alerts him to the presence of another parasite nearby. It turns out to be none other than his teacher, who, upon seeing Shinichi, recognizes his infection. However, she reassures him, expressing a desire to understand human life and maintain human attributes without causing harm. She introduces Shinichi to two more parasites, one being a police officer and the other a fellow student. The teacher explains that she and the police officer are expecting a baby, which they hope will be a human, and they wish to live like humans, refraining from public killings but seeking to satisfy their hunger in private. They extend an invitation to Shinichi to join their group, but Migi vehemently disagrees. The following day, the police officer confronts them, and Migi exposes Shinichi's knowledge of the parasite killings at the hotel. The police officer attacks, leading to a fierce battle between Migi, Shinichi, and the police officer, culminating in the officer's demise. Upon returning home, Shinichi grapples with the guilt of taking a life. While unbeknownst to him, the parasite within the police officer transfers to Shinichi's mother. She approaches Shinichi with murderous intent, prompting Migi to warn him of her intentions. Shinichi, deeply attached to his mother, implores Migi to refrain from revealing her true nature. However, his mother's face morphs into a parasite upon their first encounter, and she launches an attack on her son, leaving him severely injured and on the brink of death. The next morning, Shinichi miraculously recovers, and Migi reveals that he used his cells to heal him. However, a disturbing revelation emerges as Migi's cells have now infiltrated Shinichi, subjecting him to an infection. Determined to find his missing mother, Shinichi embarks on a search but comes up empty-handed. He turns to the teacher for information about the police officer but receives no answers. Migi explains that he needs 4 hours of sleep daily, during which Shinichi must fend for himself. As Migi's attributes begin to manifest within Shinichi, a student from the teacher's introduction transforms into a parasite. The student enrolls in Shinichi's school and pretends to be his friend. Over time, his true nature is revealed to everyone, leading to a brutal massacre. The student targets Shinichi's friend, but Shinichi makes a daring leap off a building to save his buddy. The teacher, fearing her secret may be exposed, arrives and detonates a bomb but manages to escape. The police are called to the scene, but the student eliminates them as well. Migi advises Shinichi of the student's location on the building's roof. Shinichi confronts and defeats the student using an arrow to bring an end to his reign of terror. He then returns to the teacher and seeks information about the police officer, who was also a parasite. The teacher, sensing Shinichi's determination, finally reveals the location of the police officer Parasite. To Shinichi's shock, he discovers that the parasite from the police officer's body has taken refuge in his own mother. However, it's Migi's rest time, which means Shinichi must face this threat alone. Determined to protect his mother and eliminate the parasite, he engages in a tense confrontation. Through sheer willpower and resourcefulness, Shinichi manages to cut the throat of the parasite, putting an end to its existence. With the parasite within his mother and the police officer eradicated, Shinichi's mission takes a grim toll on his life. The weight of these actions leaves him emotionally scarred. The next scene shows Shinichi at a hospital, visiting his injured friend. He solemnly declares his resolve to eradicate all parasites one by one, vowing to ensure that humanity is safe from their malevolent presence. As Shinichi voices his determination, an unexpected twist unfolds. An unknown figure lurks in the shadows, secretly capturing photographs of Shinichi and his friend. This mysterious individual reveals himself as a spy, introducing a new layer of intrigue and suspense to the unfolding narrative. The true intentions of this spy remain shrouded in mystery, leaving Shinichi and the audience in suspense. So at this moment, the part 1 of the story is finished. We will meet with part 2 of this story soon. Till then, please subscribe to this channel.